பாரதத்தின் பேரதனை பாரதிரத் தேரோட்ட பார்த்தனவன் வேண்டிலேயே சாரதியாய் வால பருவத்து வேந்தருமே சீராக்கி தாயகத்தை பாருளோர்க்கு வேறாக்கும் வித்தையினை விளைத்திடவே ஆசிரியர் குழாம் ஒன்றே அவனிக்கோர் அச்சாணியென ஆசுக்கலை கலைகளையே அரிச்சுவடாய் அணிந்தாங்கே பேசுகலை களஞ்சியமாய் புவனமிதில் பவனி வரும் ஆசிரிய பெருந்தகையர் வாழிய வாழியவே.
Hello viewers, my dear professional family members, ardent and dedicated teachers. On this August occasion of Teachers' Day, we the members of Shalom Academy of Excellence take great pride in wishing you all a happy Teachers' Day. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front, said Nelson Mandela. Teaching can never be called a job, a profession or career, but as a vocation. The term vocation comes from the Latin word which means a call to serve others. And I'm deeply convinced this is not an ordinary call, rather a divine call. A call from God to serve the students He entrusts in our hands. Teachers symbolize glowing lamps as they illuminate the darkness of ignorance. Teachers are special people, but what makes them special? The letters that go to spell the word S-P-E-C-I-A-L symbolize S for selflessness, P for patience, E for enthusiasm, C for caring, I for integrity, A for awareness, and L for love, the universal language that every heart comprehends. A team of teacher educators are here with us today to brush our memories back to the desks of training, enriching your thoughts with the pearls of wisdom and sharing their experiences with you. So come on, let's listen to them.
Wish you all a happy Teachers' Day, and just remember Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who brought honor to teachers all around the world. In older days, teachers were considered to be gurus and they'll be on a pedestal. They were considered to be walking encyclopedias, and we followed teacher-centered methods. Everything has changed in this world now because of technology one side and because of many other reasons. First, teachers shared the same platform with students, mainly in the ALM and the ABL methods. Then students became co-learners with the teachers, and we followed learner-centric method. But the COVID-19 pandemic has changed everything upside down. Now everything is knitted around technology, without which we cannot survive in this world. Students and teachers find it difficult to adjust with technology, its impact and consequences. But for teachers to relate better with students, there are certain criteria, you can say, or the 5 C's to be followed. The first one is competence. Students nowadays browse and get more details than the staff members. So we should be competent enough to answer the students. And the second one, it is commitment. You should be a committed person, because there are 2 things, efficient teacher and effective teachers. Efficient teachers, they'll be resourceful, but effective teachers will be just like a catalyst in the life of the students. So we should be committed to our profession. And the third one is compassion. Whether it is offline or online, teachers should be compassionate towards the students, and teachers should understand the difficulties of the students. And the fourth one, charisma. There is the attractiveness towards the profession. And the fifth one, collaboration. And next one, how to develop the rapport with the students. Whether it is offline or face-to-face teaching, you should be available to the students to clarify their doubts. And the second one is you should be approachable, and you should appreciate the works of the students, whether it is offline or face-to-face. avoid being too critical, and have positive attitude towards the students as well as to the teaching community. Every student has to adjust to and take care of three sets nowadays. One is the parents, second one is the teachers, and the third one is the student himself or herself. So, most of the students as well as teachers are stressed nowadays. To overcome stress, you should be organized, you should be able to prioritize things, live a healthy life, have time for family, be positive, that is, be optimistic, and be grateful. It will help you to forget the negative thoughts in your life. You should know what you need and give yourself breathing time. The defense of the state in all civilized countries is quite as much in the hands of our teachers as in those of the armed forces, says Bertrand Russell. Alexander the Great once opined, and he told, I owe my birth to my father, but my life to my teacher. I owe my birth to my father and my life to my teacher. I am in this world because of my father, but the greatness I have achieved is because of my teacher. The way you teach, the knowledge you share, the care you take, the love you shower makes you the world's best teacher. The way you teach, the knowledge you share, the care you take, the love you shower makes you the world's best teacher. If a student lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a student lives with approval, he learns to like himself. If a student lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. So as teachers, we have to have all these qualities. If you loosen the soil a little, the plant may come out easily. Or if you put a hedge around it, see that it is not killed by anything and the work of the gardener stops there, says Vivekananda. A careless word may kindle strife or fight. A cruel word may wreck a life. A bitter word may hate instill. A brutal word may smite and kill. A gracious word may smooth the way. A joyous word may light the day. A timely word may less stress. A loving word may heal and bless. As teachers, a teacher's purpose is not to create students in his or her own image, but to develop students who can create their own image. A teacher's purpose is not to create students in his or her own image, but to develop students who can create their own image. So whether it is offline or online, we should be available to the students and we should be helpful to the students and we should be able to clarify their doubts, and above all, my wishes to you all to be effective teachers and a good human being. Thank you.
Hello friends, how are you all? My name is Thelma and I teach English as second language in Canada. Canada being an immigrant country, my specialization is in teaching medical English to professionals such as doctors, nurses, and pharmacists who have immigrated from other countries. They are required to master an English necessary for both theory and practice. What I am trying to say is that every aspect of the English language has to be relevant to their practice. They do not learn English for the sake of mastery over its vocabulary or grammar. Therefore, today, my focus is how we can apply 7 steps of planning that Jane Catherine Bella, educator and entrepreneur, writes about in Taking Learning to Task and Learning to Listen, Learning to Teach. What I present here today is an adaptation of the summary as laid out by Dr. Mary Boyce, professor at Columbia University. Jane Bella rejects the notion The teaching is transferring a teacher's knowledge to learners. This is similar to Paulo Freire's idea on the banking system of learning that we have inherited from colonial educators that do not promote critical thinking. Bella thinks of teaching as interacting with students and with content. The implication then is to make teaching as actively engaging learners in thinking processes essential to the content. Accordingly, the 7 steps that follow are in a question format and should guide us away from an examination-oriented learning or teaching. So first, let us ask the question, who? Who is our intended audience? What is their background? What do they already understand or misunderstand about the subject matter? What are their interests, their constraints, etc.? The second question is why? What is it we hope to accomplish? What do the students need that our session can fulfill? The third question is when. How do we intend to make the time frame work for us? How will we allow time for people to assimilate the learning? Fourth is where. Where will we teach? And what possibilities does this site allow for? What hindrances might we anticipate? What resources can we draw upon at the site? How will we set up the site and what? The fifth question is what? What are the fundamental elements of what we will be teaching? What are the most important ideas? Bella suggests articulating these elements in terms of skills, knowledge, and attitudes. In other words, what do we hope people will be able to do at the end of our sessions? What do we anticipate they will know? What attitudes do we hope to form? The sixth question is what for? We need to formulate our objectives in verb forms that describe what participants will do in the course of the sessions we are leading. That is, what activities will appropriately engage participants in learning. Finally, the seventh question is how. In what ways will we engage participants with the content? What materials do we require? What learning tasks will we engage the participants so that they can interact with the content? I hope that was helpful. Goodbye for now.
I am Dr. W.S. Bawani, Associate Professor of Home Science, St. Christopher's College of Education. I am greatly delighted to wish all teachers a very happy Teachers' Day. Teaching profession is the most important of all other professions because the greatness or the strength of any other profession depends upon the knowledge and skills which our teachers help to instill in the students. And it's a very unique profession because it has a hand in shaping the future of children. We teachers are responsible for the development of the children, total development of the children, especially we are responsible for the health and well-being of all our children. And we have already realized, especially during this pandemic, that health is very, very important, and boosting up of our immunity, taking nutritious foods is very important. Lack of nutrients lead to lack of immunity. Malnutrition is considered the main cause of all health problems. It may be undernutrition or overnutrition. Undernutrition occurs because of lack of enough food intake, insufficient food intake. There the nutrients, food is deficient in various nutrients, so children succumb to various diseases, deficiency diseases, and also they lack immunity, so they get other diseases also. And in overnutrition, they take excess of carbohydrates and fats, and even if they take more amount of food, there's an imbalance, and that leads to overweight and obesity among children. Nowadays we see a lot of children and adolescents have higher body mass index, and it is detrimental to their health. It's not good. And many people do not realize this. We don't give importance to this. So even this obesity and overweight, there is an imbalance in this also. So they also lack immunity and they get other diseases. Apart from malnutrition, substance abuse, stress, anxiety, depression, all these things affect the physical and mental health of children. Here, the teacher's role is very, very important in helping the students to come out of these problems. Nowadays people know too much about nutrition, but they give they don't give much attention to it. That is the problem. The world is puffed up with knowledge of nutrition, but they do not have proper attitude towards that. They don't put into practice what they know. So here teachers should play a major role in helping the children realize that it is important, and that is why we have to emphasize them to take proper balanced diet. That is, they can increase the intake of fruits and vegetables, and they can take lot of protein rich foods like pulses, legumes, milk, meat and fish. And carbohydrate foods can be taken in moderate amounts, is in the form of whole cereals. It's better to avoid refined cereals. And as far as fat is concerned, they have to reduce the intake of fats, but it need not be avoided because lot of good fats in the form of polyunsaturated fatty acids are available, and they have to take it in adequate amounts. They can avoid trans fats like dalda and other things. So here the teacher has to emphasize these things. They can teach the students basic nutritional concepts by integrating them in the regular subjects also, and they can do it through playway method. They can organize some interesting discussions, give them some projects and all other things. The problem here is children don't like when they say that you don't take pizza, you don't take burger. Okay, don't avoid them. You need not avoid them. Try to do it on your own, because only when they prepare it outside we call them junk foods. You can do it on your own using the vegetables, fresh vegetables, whatever you like, other ingredients you like. You can use lot of cheese in that, and they use whole refined flour. You can use whole cereal flour. If you do like this, you can increase on the quality of nutrition in that pizza or burger or whatever you prepare, and you can enjoy doing them. When they use dalda and other things there outside, you can use ghee or butter, which is good for health. This is where a teacher as a second mother should emphasize in the students that they have to follow proper nutritious lifestyle, because nutrition is not a one-day affair. We need not wait till a pandemic or epidemic or some illness to touch us. It's a day-to-day affair. A healthy lifestyle should become a way of life, and this can be done only by the efforts of teachers by instilling proper attitudes and interest towards nutritious foods in the children. And not only that, they have to be a role model in that, and they can motivate the students to follow that. So in this Teachers' Day, let us take a decision to build a healthy nation by building up healthy citizens. Yes, we can do it. It is possible. We can. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am indeed very happy to greet you all on a special day. We teachers are indeed blessed, as for us every day is a new experience and every student a new book. In my 35 years of experience as a teacher, I have enjoyed teaching with passion. If we teach from our heart, and if we teach the way our wards can learn, we win their hearts and their everlasting respect. Ours is the only profession where we get the Best Teacher Award every day when the students sit up and the eyes brighten when we enter the class. This is the only profession awarding rewarding experiences. No wonder this is called the noble profession. Spread happiness, dear teachers. Happy Teachers Day, wishing you a myriad teaching learning experiences. I take this opportunity to give my special wishes to all my friends and to Dr. Thelma for stringing these gems of wishes. Thank you.
வணக்கம். 2021 ஆண்டு செப்டம்பர் மாதம் 5ஆம் தேதிக்குள் வந்திருக்கின்றோம். இந்த பேண்டமிக் பீரியடில் நாம் ஒருவர் சந்தித்து நாம் வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்ள முடியவில்லை என்றாலும் கூட இந்த நாளிலே காணொளி வாயிலாக ஆசிரியர் தின வாழ்த்துக்களை ஆசிரியர் பெருமக்கள் ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் உரித்தாகுகின்றேன். எல்லாம் வல்ல இறைவனுக்கே முதற்கண் என்னுடைய வணக்கத்தை ஏறெடுத்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். இந்த ஆசிரியர் தின நாளிலே முதலாவது நான் என் பெற்றோரை நினைப்பது உண்டு. என் தகப்பனார் ஒரு தலைமை ஆசிரியராக இருந்தவர்கள். அவர்கள் கொடுத்த கல்வியை நான் நினைப்பது உண்டு. அது மட்டுமல்ல, 1ஆம் வகுப்பு முதல் முனைவர் பட்டம் வரைக்கும் உள்ள கற்பித்துக் கொடுத்த ஆசிரியர் பெருமக்களையும் நான் நினைத்து பார்ப்பதுண்டு. அவர்களுக்கும் என்னுடைய உள்ளத்தின் ஆழத்திலே நன்றியை நான் கூறிக்கொள்கின்றேன். ஏனெனில் அவர்கள் காட்டிய அன்பு, அவர்கள் காட்டிய பரிவு, அவர்கள் காட்டிய கரிசனை, அவர்கள் காட்டிய அறிவுரை, அவர்கள் கூறிய அறிவுரை அனைத்தையும் பார்க்கும் பொழுது என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையிலே அவர்கள் தலை சிறந்தவர்களாக இன்று வரை விளங்குகின்றார்கள். எனவே அவர்களை நான் மனத்திற்குள் நினைத்து அவர்களுக்கு நன்றியை ஏறெடுக்கின்றேன். அது மட்டுமல்ல, இன்றைய தினம் 5ஆம் தேதி டாக்டர் ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களின் பிறந்த நாள். டாக்டர் ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களை பற்றி சொல்லும் பொழுது அவர்கள் எவ்வளவு தூரத்துக்கு ஆசிரியர் பணியை அவர்கள் விரும்பி இருந்தால், அதை அனுபவித்திருந்தால் அவர்கள் தன்னுடைய பிறந்த நாளை ஆசிரியர் தினமாக கூறியிருப்பார்கள். அதே போலதான் டாக்டர் ஏஜேபி அப்துல் கலாம் அவர்களை நினைத்து பார்க்கின்றேன். ஆசிரியர் தொழிலுக்கே தங்களை அர்ப்பணித்துக் கொண்டவர்கள் இவர்கள். நமக்கு முன்மாதிரிகளாக விளங்கியும் வருகிறார்கள். இன்று வரை அவர்கள் இருவரையும் நாம் எந்த ஒரு கூட்டத்திலும் பேசாமல் அவருடைய பெயரை சொல்லாமல் இருப்பதில்லை. அந்த அளவுக்கு ஆசிரியர் பணியை அவர்கள் அனுபவித்தது மட்டுமல்ல, நமக்கும் ஒரு முன்மாதிரியாக அவர்கள் திகழ்கின்றார்கள் என்பதை நான் இந்த நேரத்திலே கூறிக்கொள்ள விளைகின்றேன். அது மட்டுமல்ல, இன்றைய தினத்திலும் கூட அவர்கள் இருவரையும் பற்றி நான் கூறுவதற்கு வந்த காரணம் என்னவென்றால், அவர்கள் இருவருமே தமிழ் மொழியை தங்களுடைய பயிற்று மொழியாக கொண்டவர்கள். மொழி இன்றைய நாளிலே பார்க்கும் பொழுது அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக கீழ்நிலையை நோக்கி போய்கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. புதிய தலைமுறையினர், அதாவது இன்றைய இளைய தலைமுறையினர் தமிழ் மொழிக்கு அதிகமாக முக்கியத்துவம் கொடுப்பதில்லை. எனவே தமிழாசிரியராகிய நான் இன்றைய காலகட்டத்தில் தமிழ் மொழியினுடைய பெருமையை கொஞ்சம் எடுத்து கூறி, ஆசிரியர்களாகிய நம்முடைய பணி என்ன, தமிழாசிரியருக்கு மட்டுமல்ல ஆசிரியர் ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் உள்ள பணி என்ன என்பதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம் சொல்ல விரும்புகின்றேன். ஆசிரியர் பணி அறப்பணி, அதற்கே உன்னை அர்ப்பணி என்பது கூற்று. இந்த நேரத்திலே ஆசிரியர் பணி என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது தாய்மொழியின் வாயிலாக நம்ம கற்பித்தல் என்பது மிகச் சிறந்ததாக இருக்கின்றது. ஒளியுள்ள ஒரு வாழ்க்கைக்கு நம்முடைய தாய்மொழி மிகவும் முக்கியம். தாய்மொழி என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது நம்முடைய தமிழ் மொழியை தான் குறிப்பிடுகின்றேன். தமிழ் மொழி உயர்தனி செம்மொழிகளில் ஒன்றாக கருதப்படுகின்றது. கிரேக்கு, லத்தீன், ஹீப்ரு, சமஸ்கிருதம் இந்த மொழிகள் செம்மொழிகள் என்று கூறப்பட்டாலும் அந்த மொழிகளுக்கு மேலாக தமிழ் மொழி முதன்மை இடத்தை வகிக்கின்றது. இந்திய திராவிட மொழி கூட்டத்தை பார்க்கும் பொழுது தமிழ், தெலுங்கு, மலையாளம், கன்னடம், துளு, குடகு போன்ற மொழிகளை பார்க்கும் பொழுதும் கூட தமிழ் மொழிதான் முதலிடம் வகிக்கின்றது. யாமறிந்த மொழிகளிலே தமிழ் மொழி போல் இனிதாவது எங்கும் காணோம் என்று பாரதியார் பாடியிருக்கின்றார். அது மட்டுமல்ல, பாரதிதாசனை பொறுத்த அளவிற்கு தமிழ் எங்கள் உயிருக்கு நேர் என்று கூறியிருக்கின்றார். எல்லாவற்றுக்கும் மேலாக கம்பர் அவர்கள் மதுர கவியா மொழி என்று கூறியிருக்கின்றார். ஆக இப்படி ஒவ்வொருவரும் தமிழ் மொழியை புகழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கும் பொழுது நம்முடைய தாய்மொழியில் இல்லாதது எதுவுமே இல்லை. இயமையாமையை பார்க்கும் பொழுது முதலாவதாக ஒருவருக்கொருவர் செய்திகளை பகிர்ந்து கொள்வது. இப்பொழுது நான் உங்களோடு என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துதலை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன் என்றால் அதற்கு காரணம் நம்முடைய தாய்மொழிதான். அது மட்டுமல்ல, இலக்கிய இன்பத்தை கண்டு இன்புறுவதற்கு, அதாவது பண்டை காலம் தொட்டு இன்றைய வரைக்கும் உள்ள இலக்கியங்களை பார்க்கும் பொழுது படித்து ரசித்து சுவைப்பதற்கு ஏற்ற மொழியாக நம்முடைய தமிழ் மொழி இருக்கின்றது. வாழ்க்கையை வளப்படுத்துகின்ற மொழியாகவும் தாய்மொழி இருக்கின்றது. நீதியை நமக்கு புகட்டுகின்ற மொழியாகவும் நமக்கு தாய்மொழி இருக்கின்றது. கற்பனை ஆற்றலை வளர்ப்பதாகவும் முருகுணர்ச்சி உணர்ப்பதாகவும் நமக்கு தாய்மொழி இருக்கின்றது. இப்படிப்பட்ட தாய்மொழியில் நாம் கற்ற கல்வியை நம்முடைய குழந்தைகளுக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுக்க வேண்டாமா? ஆனால் இன்றைய தலைமுறையினர் அதை சற்று உதாசீனப்படுத்துகின்றார்கள். தமிழ் மொழியில் உயிரெழுத்துக்கள், மெய்யெழுத்துக்கள், உயிர்மெய் எழுத்துக்கள் 246 இருக்கின்றது. ஆயுத எழுத்தையும் சேர்த்து 247 எழுத்துக்கள். இந்த ஆயுத எழுத்து தமிழ் மொழிக்கே உரிய பெருமை. இதைவிட சிறப்பு வாய்ந்தது தமிழுக்கு என்று உள்ள எழுத்து மகர டகரம். ரகரம். அந்த ரகரத்தை நாம் சொல்வோமே, ஆனால் அதை உச்சரிப்பதற்கே மாணவர்கள் இந்த காலத்தில் கஷ்டப்படுகின்றார்கள். ஏனெனில் லகர லகர லகரம், தனி லகரம், பொது லகரம், மகர லகரம் அல்லது சிறப்பு லகரம் என்று கூறும் பொழுது மாணவர்கள் அதனுடைய உச்சரிப்பை அவர்கள் சரியாக புரிந்து கொள்ளாமல் இருக்கின்றார்கள். ஆசிரியர்களாகிய நாம் தான் அவர்களுக்கு அதை கற்றுக் கொடுக்க வேண்டும். ஒரு சிறிய உதாரணம், பள்ளி என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது அது தனி லகரம் வருகின்றது. பழம் என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது அது பொது லகரம் வருகின்றது. பழம் என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது அதில் மகர லகரம், சிறப்பு லகரம் வருகின்றது. மாணவர்களுக்கு இந்த வேறுபாட்டை எடுத்து கூறுவது மட்டுமல்ல, அவர்களையும் உச்சரித்து சொல்லி, அவர்களையும் அதை பேச சொல்லி அதை அவர்களுக்கு கற்றுக் கொடுக்க வேண்டும். தாய்மொழி கற்பது எதற்காக என்று சொன்னால், பேசுவதற்கும் படிப்பதற்கும் வாசிப்பதற்கும் எழுதுவதற்கும் தான். நம்முடைய மக்கள் அதை, நம்முடைய பிள்ளைகள் அதை கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். மக்கள் என்று சொல்லும்போது பிள்ளைகளைத்தான் குறிப்பிடுகிறேன். நம்முடைய பிள்ளைகள் அதை கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். சரளமாக படிக்க வேண்டும், சரளமாக எழுத வேண்டும். ஒருவருக்கொருவர் கருத்துக்களை பரிமாறிக்கொள்ளும் பொழுது சரளமாக கருத்துக்களை பரிமாறிக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். எழுதுவதிலும் திறமை மிக்கவர்களாக இருக்க வேண்டும். எனவே ஆசிரியர் பணியை தலைமையில் மேற்கொண்டிருக்கின்ற ஆசிரியர்களாகிய நீங்கள் உங்களுடைய மாணவர்களுக்கு, உங்களுடைய வருங்கால குடிமக்களுக்கு சிறந்த மாணவர்களாக அவர்களை உருவாக்குகின்ற நீங்கள் வகுப்பறையிலே நீங்கள் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? இந்த தமிழ் மொழியினுடைய பெருமையை எடுத்துக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். யாம் பெற்ற இன்பம் பெருக இவ்வையகம் என்பது போல பெற்ற இன்பத்தை நாம் மற்றவர்களோடு பகிர்ந்து கொள்வோம். பெற்ற இன்பத்தை நம்முடைய மாணவர்களுக்கு கற்றுக் கொடுப்போம். எனவே மாணவ செல்வங்களை வருங்காலத்தில், எதிர்காலத்தில் சிற்பிகளாக அவர்களை வடிவமைக்க வேண்டியது ஆசிரியர்களாகிய உங்களுடைய கையில் தான் இருக்கின்றது என்பதை கூறி என்னுடைய உரையை முடிக்கின்றேன். நன்றி.
Hello, I'm extremely happy to meet you all in this video. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Thelma Ranjith, retired Associate Professor from Christopher's College of Education. He has given a wonderful opportunity to present this video. We are celebrating Teachers' Day. This is very important day in all teachers' life. This day is important because it is celebrated in the birthday of Dr. Radhakrishnan. Our profession teacher is very important one. It's a mother of all professions. So we have to thank the Lord and cherish the day. I want to talk few minutes about maxims of teaching. It is very essential for every teacher. Many of us are using the maxims of teaching in our day-to-day life. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are using. Here I am going to tell about 3 maxims. First one is simple to complex. We have to teach our lesson from simple to complex. Why? To finish our task earlier, we have to go ahead with simple. To give a clear idea about our topic, we have to go with simple concept at first. To avoid unnecessary difficulties, to give appropriate learning to our children, we have to start with simple. To motivate and to achieve, we have to start with simple. You know, many teachers are thinking that I know more than that of students. Maybe it's right, but they should not confuse the students by telling complex things. That's why I'm telling, to set a record or to achieve the record, achieve the goal, you please start with simple. To give more reinforcement, you start with simple. Later, you will achieve the complex things. You know about Confucius, a very famous philosopher. He's telling that life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Is it? So, dear teachers, start with simple. In all the areas, you find out what is simple. Then automatic accumulation of simples will make into complicated one. The students will think, how did I complete this very tough task? Hope you do in your lifetime. The second maxim is teaching a known things first and the unknown. Move from known to unknown. Why we have to know? Start with known thing? Because future is not in our hand. Unknown things are fearful. This is not in mind, not at all imagined by a person. That's why we have to start with known things. Because known things is trustworthy. Always it helps to teach the unknown concept. I want to quote one example here. A known friend or unknown friend. We share, chat, and discuss and go with them, right? And share all the things which we have in our mind. It's with a known friend. Then what about unknown friend? A stranger. We won't share, right? We won't chat like that. We won't go with them and stay with them because they are unknown. It's full of fearful, right? So dear teachers, the same way you teach the concept, the things which are known to the children, then they start to communicate with you, interact with you. Then the life will be inside your class. The wise teacher always plan with the principle of known to unknown. What about you? Next, I would like to conclude with this third maxim. Always go with whole to parts. Why? Whole is the greater part. It's greater than the parts. It's more understandable. It motivates an effective one. So always begin with whole. Give the wholesome idea. Then move into the parts. Without giving the entire picture, if you go into the parts, it will make confusion. Dear teachers, always teach with simple to complex, known to unknown, and the final one, whole to part. There are many maxims. I have taken just 3 because of time limit. Once again, I wish you happy Teachers' Day. God bless you.
A very good day to all the teaching fraternity out there. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Proverbs 1 verse 7. I'm very thankful to Thelma ma'am, my mentor, for having given me this opportunity to wish you all on this very special day. And as rightly quoted by C.S. Lewis, the task of the modern educator is not to cut down jungles but to irrigate deserts. And this is the age of information inpouring and knowledge explosion. We teachers have a mammoth responsibility before us to serve as a facilitator and guide for our students. This noble responsibility carries with it a huge parcel of passion towards teaching, and the result is inspiring teachers who ignite students with knowledge. And we will have to applaud ourselves, all the teachers out there, for having worked hard through the pandemic and transforming the conventional, traditional classroom into online learning and teaching never interrupted at any point of time. So a huge applause to all the teachers out there. There are two important points I wish to share with you on this very special day. Teachers have two loves, or should have two loves, that is love for learning and love for the learners. Love for learning, as we are all familiar with the love for learning, we learn from the cradle to the grave, and every day we learn something new because we will have to meet students who have knowledge from all quarters because of the technology out there. Then love for the learners. Love for learners, we need to focus individually on each and every student, understand them and try to bring out the natural talents in them and ignite their interests. Teachers of yesteryears, with the traditional classroom, we were the sage on the stage. But now the role of a teacher has transformed from being the sage on the stage to the guide by the side of the students. We need to learn along with the students, create a conducive environment for them, create conditions that will tap their creativity, and moreover, we as teachers have dealt for a long time with the cognitive domain, and values in today's age are fast deteriorating. So I feel today I need to share this very important aspect, that we need to concentrate or focus more on the affective domain. A teacher who inspires students will long be remembered by them. So if you want to be a great teacher, you should connect with your students and unfold experiences both inside and outside your classroom. We can impact a very strong influence on our students and virtually turn their lives upside down. So tap on the affective domain, which is very important in today's day and age where many students are stressed out. We have tapped enough on the cognitive domain, so we need to check on the affective domain. And here are a few points to remember in your classroom. First, have empathy. Empathy equals bonding with your students. Try to be on their same frequency and wavelength. Understand their feelings. And many are stressed nowadays due to the pandemic and other factors around them. So search for the real person and they will confide in you, and you can bring out the real them. The second is develop a positive mental attitude. That is a positive mental attitude of the teacher. This positive attitude of the teacher is highly contagious and will have a ripple effect on your children in the classroom. So bring light into the classroom. The third is remember your students individually. Not all the fingers in your hand are the same, and so are your students. We face a heterogeneous group of students in our classroom every day. Each of them are different in their mental, physical, emotional characteristics. So each learn differently. Try to accommodate all of them and never let them have the feeling of being left out in the classroom. Do not limit your students. Unleash their creativity. So unleashing their creativity will be the fourth point which I wish to share with you. Creativity breeds interest. Interest develops attitude. Attitude shapes character, which is the ultimate of every individual. So we need to create responsible citizens of tomorrow, and it is only in our hands to do so. Only a teacher has the power to change the life of her students. So help your students realize their full potential so they go on to create a positive difference in the world. Keep the light of knowledge burning. Happy Teachers' Day to all. Thank you.
Wish you all a happy and meaningful Teachers' Day. I, being basically a mathematics teacher, like to say a few words about the wonder world of mathematics. Mathematics plays an important role in a student's life. It has wide applications in all the subjects and in different phases of an individual's life. Mathematics is visible everywhere in nature, even when we are not expecting it. Mathematics can explain varied phenomena like the pattern of galaxies, seashell curves, arrangement of petals, river bends, position of branches, snowflakes, etc. There are some interesting mathematical phenomena which bring out the mystic of mathematics. Fractals, tessellations, symmetry, golden ratio, patterns with straight lines are a few of them. I will just touch upon one phenomenon known as fractals. Fractals are self-referential patterns that repeat themselves to some degree on a smaller scale. The closer you look, the more repetitions you will see, like the fronds and leaves of a fern. These repeating patterns are everywhere in nature, in snowflakes, river networks, flowers, trees, lightning strikes, and even in blood vessels of an animal body. Such an interesting world of mathematics is out there to be explored by you and your students. Motivate them to enjoy mathematics and step into the mystic world of mathematics.
Good morning, friends. Happy Teachers' Day. In this auspicious occasion, I would like to quote to Judge Palya, a great mathematician, who quotes, "No teacher can impart to his students the spirit of discovery if he has got it himself." NCERT 2006 position paper by the National Focus Group on Mathematics, we see a list of recommendations for school teachers. As an agenda to raise the standards of school education, the National Curriculum Framework 2000 aims to mathematize the thinking process of the learners. In this connection, we find a reaffirmation of the importance of the problem-solving skills, analytical skills, thinking skills, learning skills, heuristic methods, and making connections of mathematical communications. In pedagogy of mathematics, how are we teaching the students? Are we connecting our problem-solving skills to the students by exposing them to the non-routine problems? We have problems in the textbooks, problems of routine and non-routine, problems which are challenging and exciting ones. Are we giving opportunities for students to attack all those problems? Here comes cognitive and metacognitive skills. Cognitive and metacognitive skills play a vital role in problem-solving ability. The spiritual father, Judge Palya, with his thought process in problem solving, gives various steps on how to tackle the problems. Advocated by his thinking, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz and René Descartes, a great mathematicians, paved the way for problem solving skills, and nobody would omit Socrates from the chronology of problem solvers and problem thinkers. So, are we really incorporating the problem solving skills to the students while they solving the problems? Judge Palya, in his book How to Solve It, makes use of cognitive and metacognitive skills. Cognitive skills makes use of thinking as well as learning, as well as processing the learning. And metacognition makes you to think how you think and how you learn. So, as teachers, would you change the methodology? Two, would your method be comprehensible to children? And how might you amend your methods to make changes in your methodology and make it interesting and thought provoking? Here comes the process of cognition and metacognition, and Polya recommends various steps in order to solve the non-routine problems in children. Look for pattern, construct table, account for possibilities, act it out, make a model, guess and check, work backwards, make a drawing, figure or a graph, select appropriate notation, restate the problem in your own words, identify wanted, given and needed information, write an open sentence, identify the sub-goals, solve for simpler and similar problems, change your point of view, check for hidden assumptions, are the steps recommended by the various problem solvers, including Judge Palya. And the secret of a teacher is to bring the best in students. Yes, you have to bring in the abilities of the students and make use of cognition and metacognition and plan, monitor, evaluate, and the process has to be repeated in order to bring the best in the students. And create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, remember, remembering the Bloom's revised taxonomy and achieve a particular goal and use to ensure that the goal has been reached, and actively utilize information and cognition and proceed and follow a cognitive activity using metacognition and emphasize the development of thinking skills and improve the process of learning and enhance learning. And this often occurs when you repeat the process and when you make use of metacognition. And when the cognition fails, make use of the metacognition to rethink, learn, unlearn, and then make use of your cognitive skills and metacognitive skills to teach the students and let the students also make use of cognition and metacognition to solve the problems which are challenging ones. And a teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. So let us make use of the thinking skills and create interest in the students and become a part of a great teacher to influence the students in day-to-day teaching. Thank you once again. Happy Teachers' Day. Have a great year and future ahead. Thank you.
Hi, wish you happy Teachers' Day. I am Dr. Shamim, Deputy Director from SCRT, that is State Council of Educational Research and Training. Our organization is a Government of Tamil Nadu organization. It is especially for the development of textbooks and imparting in-service training for the teachers and spearhead for that all that academic activities are state, and it is an apex body of NCERT. On behalf of our friends and organization, we wish you a very happy Teachers' Day. A teacher is said to be physically fit, mentally strong, and spiritually alive. Thus, we teachers should also ensure the physical health, psychological health, as well as spiritual health of the children. The bond between the teacher and taught is so holy. I mean, by ensuring the physical health of the children during this pandemic time, every teacher, let us ensure the physical safety of the children. Let us see that they are maintaining the physical distance, social distance, and they abide by all SOPs in the school, and let them know any numbers which they need in emergency, and health awareness, washing hands, and all SOPs they need to follow. This is that physical health maintenance of the children. And by mentally strong, I say that psychological health of the children. Let us save the child by undergoing any psychological trauma. We should provide the all-round development of the child. So let us be the second parents of the children, not only the teacher. And third dimension I like to say about spiritual health. Let them have a whole purpose of life. Let them value values more. Materials are immaterial. They should learn the discipline. So I mean to say that a teacher should be physically fit, mentally strong, and spiritually alive, so that we can present and bless our children with these values. Wish you all a very happy Teachers' Day. Thank you, Thelma.
Hello everyone. I'd like to share some specific tips I had been using in my English class. I am an English teacher in a college in China, and my students, they are freshmen or sophomores. Actually, this tip is quite easy. That is to encourage them to upload their photos in their phones to the bulletin board or discussion part in the online site. We use Charling Superstar online platform, which was purchased by the school. Especially this was useful in the very beginning of the semester or after long vacation. For example, I'd like them to share some inspiration or interesting people or stories in the winter vacation, and then students will upload their pictures with some notes. And students love doing that because they have the urge to share, to show off, to let others know what they did, especially some interesting stuff, interesting things, interesting stories. And now, next part is a little bit spontaneous. It seems it has nothing to do with the teaching objectives or teaching goals, but actually, this can be decided by the teacher. For example, if the topic for the class is about environment, then we can choose this picture and encourage this student to talk about more about the beautiful views. And maybe this topic can extend to environment protection. What can we do to preserve the trees? And this boy, he uploaded a very funny picture about a very fat dog, I guess. So we can talk about more about animal rights, about whether it is healthy for the dog. And this girl, she mentioned she had just got her driver license, and then he drove to play with her grandma. So maybe we want to learn more about what about her parents. And he will explain That is to allow students to talk about more about herself and her family, if it is not violating her privacy. And this boy, he loved taking pictures using very professional, high-level cameras and lens. And this one, he mentioned this was taken at night for a long time, and that was very beautiful. So also, he mentioned some obstacles that he took it from a very tall building, but the guard did not allow him to go there, and he did manage to persuade him in climbing to the top of the building. So we can encourage him to talk about the stories behind it and why he chose doing that. Nobody pays money for him. He just loved doing that out of curiosity, out of his own passion. So I know this picture, this story can be used in the career planning, in the passion, in a lot of topics. And people must enjoy food. This was taken, I guess, was in Spring Festival family reunion dinner, and we can see actually it's very interesting. From this might be not so familiar for others, but I know it was the tongue of duck. I know many foreigners, many Westerners cannot accept this, but we can tell that's the culture difference. How can we understand the food? And this picture may seems not comfortable for vegetarians. And then we can talk about the debate of animal rights, the vegetarian, the healthy lifestyle. It can be a very good topic. And also we can notice this is like a salsa. It's like a Sichuan cuisine. And maybe this one can be another story. Why this is Sichuan cuisine and the duck of the tongue of the duck belongs to Wenzhou city. What happened? Maybe for the parents, one of them is from Wenzhou and the other is from Sichuan. So there are a lot of information behind it. We can encourage students to talk about it. And this can be used in our class. It all depends on what we can do, what the decision, what we can make, so that students, their pictures can be related to our teaching objective. Thank you.
Friends, I wish you all a happy Teachers Day 2021. I am Dr. V. Chandrasekharan, retired Professor and Head, Department of Education, University of Madras. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Mrs. Thelma for giving me this opportunity to converse with you on this auspicious day. There is a controversy whether teachers are born or made. In those times, there were only few teachers and their demand also very less, because need of education is only for the wealthy and royal people. But at present, education has been made as universal and offered as free and compulsory by the government. So the need and importance of teachers in the society is enormous. Nowadays, most of the youngsters, particularly women, were more aspiring for the teaching profession. But at present, there are more number of adults and problems to become a teacher as specified in the name of quality education. To become a teacher in higher education is easier than to become a teacher in the school education. During the last semester of post-graduation in the respective discipline, one can write the NET examination and become a teacher. But in the case of school teacher, one has to study 2 years of teacher training and has to pass the TET examination. To become a teacher in higher education, one has to study 2 years of bachelor degree and 2 years of post-graduation in teacher education apart from NET examination. Just imagine how it is an Himalayan task to become a teacher in higher education. You decide yourself, is it easy to become a teacher nowadays? During this pandemic COVID-19 period, the task of teachers are so hectic. Even though they are doing their job as work from home, they have to equip themselves with the modern technology and prepare the materials of teaching according to the online mode apart from their routine domestic work. Teachers are having more social responsibilities other than their teaching of their respective subject. They have to make the students as a responsible citizen of the country. Students are in their adolescent stage and not aware of their responsibility. Teachers are in a position to look after them, to mold as a disciplined citizen apart from the routine responsibility as a teacher. It is not quite an easy job to control those adolescent students, those who are not aware of their duties. The knowledge of social science for a teacher is very essential apart from their respective subjects, because there is no much demand knowledge about the social science subjects such as political science, economics, history, sociology, geography, etc. Social science subjects are the lighthouse of life to the people to show the direction apart from the other subjects, particularly science and mathematics, are commercially motivated by the parents and the society to the students. Let us, that is, the teachers are first a well-versed person in social science to show a proper direction to the students. We take the oath in this auspicious day. Thank you.
Hello viewers, a happy day for you. And my dear teachers of the yesterday years, in-service teachers and the budding teachers, wish you all a very happy Teachers' Day. On this special day, I would like to share some of my thoughts with you. We all know that the technological development day by day increases, influencing the teacher environment also. And therefore, the teachers, as Professor Chandrasekhar said, we have to meet a lot of challenges. We have to meet everyday students' requirement, and accordingly, we have to adapt ourselves as well, accommodate our students. In this scenario, let me show you one small video. Let's watch it.
చూడు, పూర్తిగా చంద్రముఖిగా మారిన నీ భార్య గంగని చూడు.
Well, So do you understand now? Right from my school age, we keep on observing some comments, some mockery over the teachers. And today it is increasing in the name of trolls. Let's not worry about that, because we are moving with students of varied ideas, varied thoughts, varied culture, varied society. So everybody will be thinking in their own line and in their own way of delivering their own thoughts. But as teachers, we have to channelize them, and we have to make them get their thoughts focused on that particular area of skill performance. People are thinking, students are thinking, no doubt. But what do they think? Already existing factors. They're only users of the technological gadgets which are available nowadays. Let me repeat. They are using all the technological devices that are available today, and they're very happy about it, using it. They have done this and that. But are they all producers? Let us help them that they are going to produce us in the future, for which they have to think. Think. A thinking society. This is what Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam wanted the students to think about. So, to help them think, it is in our hands. How to make them think is in our hands. Only a thinking society can make a better future. You know that very well. To make the children to be a thinking society for the welfare of their own self, their own family, for the state and for the nation, they have to think. Think constructively. Think in a focused manner. Think for a particular concept. So if they are able to achieve this, tomorrow will be a better day for all the people, not only for students, not only for teachers, but for everybody. So to achieve that, let us take notes today. We are going to make every individual to be a thinking person, a person who could think constructively, a person who could think in a focused manner, a person who is going to make the future of the nation. Jai Hind.